When we first saw it, it was the owner brought it to us on the back of a ute, basically. So it was a frame, it was a couple of wheels, it was a box of engine parts, it was wiring, it was boxes and boxes and boxes of bolts and stuff. And we kind of laid it all out on the floor and figure out what we're going to do first, really. So that's how it started.
Back in the 70s, look, I can't tell you exactly, they were sort of in the low teens, like 1,500 bucks. A purple H2C, like the one we're talking about today, is 30 grand all day long. They've been going up constantly, about $1,000 a year. And it's interesting because 15 years ago, before the internet was what it is now, you couldn't get parts for it. Now, there's not a nut or bolt you can't buy. But that's how we can rebuild a bike like this. From that H2 that we're talking about, the oil pump was smashed off the engine. It didn't have instruments, it didn't have a seat. And if you look at it now, you go, wow.
To restore one, there's a whole market around restoring them. So there's people all over the world refabricating wiring harnesses, brake components, engine seals, you name it, you can actually, you can pretty much get it if you need to. And we're getting there. We're pretty much nailed where we can find it all.
There's a lot of value in a bike with patina that hasn't been destroyed, but because they were worth so little money, they became, what are we going to do with this thing? We can spend 3 grand on it. It's only worth 1,500 bucks to throw it in the shed. And that's where a lot of them ended up.
So the good thing about the Kawasaki H2. Oh yeah, this is what we're talking about. There's such a worldwide resurgence in doing these kind of motorcycles. H2s, Z900s, CB750s. There's a whole plethora of motorcycles that people really are getting back to loving and want to ride and restore. That there's manufacturers out there all over the world who've got stuff that you can buy. There's frames, there's tanks, there's wiring harnesses, there's crankshafts, there's you name it for this kind of motorcycle or for this particular bike, the H2. We have bought everything we need to from around the world. And that's how we've restored it to the state it is today, which is brand new, almost.
Yeah, I think Kawasaki's styling guys got it right in that era. They produced a series of bikes that proportions were great. I mean, if you look at the tank, it's got a big long tank and a long seat and sort of longer swing arm and long pipes. But it's not chunky and short. It's sort of it's quite elegant.
They had these almost psychedelic colours. There's lots of chrome on it. Beautiful 303 exhaust system. They just had the right geometry. You know what I mean? They're very long. I mean, you look at today's motorcycles and they're short, they're squat. They're meant to do a purpose, but these were kind of aesthetically pleasing. They really look nice. And they still do. They still look great. For me, the best angle to look at it is from the back with the 3 pipes and looking through the length of the bike to the front of it. It's kind of, it's the 70s, it's just after we went to the moon. It's like this missile. And you think about it, that's all we were wanting to do back in the 60s and 70s, is go somewhere we hadn't been, right? And this thing goes somewhere they'd never been before. You had all the older English stuff. That was, well, just past its use-by date, really. It is a piece of art, and that's exactly the owner's brief. He loves the artistic thing about it. He'll probably ride it once, maybe twice, and then it'll get decommissioned and put in the lounge room. Yeah.